Welcome to Hotline TV, everybody. I'm John Mercurio.
And I'm Amy Walter. Well, the 2000 election has been boring.
Yeah, really boring. But finally, we are pleased to announce the 2008 has its very own
sex scandal.
That's right, boys and girls. Congressman Tim Mahoney, a freshman congressman, reportedly made a $121,000 payment to a former mistress who worked on his staff and was threatening to sue him. You know, Amy, this sounds awfully familiar.
No, it's weird. It's because, oh, that's right, he replaced Mark Foley.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really even make this stuff up anymore.
We now have two sexy scandals out of Palm Beach, Florida. So what we thought we would do today is sort of go through, compare and contrast the Mahoney versus the Foley scandals. Which one was worse? Which one was better? Not that one could possibly be better.
Well, it'd be better, but,
right.
But for hotline speak, that means...
just good old-fashioned fun. All right.
All right.
All right. First of all, let's discuss the difference between the adult versus the fact that the Foley situation was a very serious case in which a former congressman sent threatening IMs to underage boys.
Yeah, I mean, let's just, I mean, that's where this thing begins and ends, really, is one was a 50-year-old woman, the others were young, underage kids who were getting IMs. Now, there we go. Right, that's just like
we got to give that one to Foley to be a much worse situation. All right, hush money involved in the situation. Hush money, always sort of a dark, sort of nefarious phrase.
It not only is it the hush money, which Mahoney is now denying that he paid, but it's that the issue around the money was that his reported mistress was saying that she was breaking up with him because he was having other affairs.
Right.
So that this may not be the end of the money trail. It may only be the beginning.
It may only be the beginning. And of course, as we know, or as far as we know, there was no hush money involved in the Mark Foley situation. So we got to give this one to Tim Mahoney.
Ding, 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 ding.
All
okay.
Right. Go ahead.
Effect on other races. Well, that's a pretty easy one, too.
Well, at this point, listen, what we know, knowing what we know today, it's clear that Mark Foley's, or it is clear that Mark Foley's scandal had a much larger impact on other races around the country because, not specifically because of his actions, but because of the reactions, responses from the House Republican leadership who reportedly knew about his behavior prior to the news breaking by ABC News and did little to nothing about it. So it had a big impact not just on Mark Foley, who was forced to resign, but on the House Republican leadership and on the party as a whole going into the November 2006 midterms. So I'm going to give that
definitely
right here to Foley.
Although the one, you know, Tom Reynolds actually had to come out. Remember that in 2006 on camera.
Oh, come out on camera.
Come out on camera. Come out on camera and talk about the issue of Foley. So
well, and they had all those House Ethics Committee's meetings. You
There's
had
no
Kirk
doubt.
Fordham
There's no
and
doubt.
poor Jeff Trandle.
Although the one thing I will say, we do have to note, is that there's one person involved in this Mahoney thing who is part of the Democratic leadership. We may be needing to hear some more from. That's Rahm Emanuel, who in the story, the ABC story, says that he had known something, that something was up. Unclear how much he actually knew about the story. So I think when we do have an ethics investigation, that will come up.
Colleagues' reaction, we haven't really heard that much so far.
Although Pelosi saying there's going to be an ethics investigation, which, by the way, Congress isn't in session anymore, right?
Right, but they're coming back and
after
probably
the election.
Won't come up after the election. All right.
Right.
Please.
Well, I think that's it. Then the only other question is, was there a cover-up, which we kind of went to that issue.
Right, but was there a cover-up for Foley?
Well, that's what I mean.
Clearly a cover-up for Foley, not for Mahoney.
Well, we don't. That's what I'm saying. We don't know if this thing about Rahm has to be answered in terms of who else knew or what they knew. All right, finally, who got thrown under the bus quicker?
Definitely Mr.
Mark Foley.
I mean,
that was within 1 second, and he had to resign.
And he was forced to resign, and we didn't hear from him for several months. He entered an alcohol rehabilitation clinic, etc., etc.
You know what I want to know, though, is, yes, Pelosi came out very quickly asking for the ethics investigation. Is the DCCC still going to put money in this race?
Yeah, indeed.
That's what I want to know.
He was about 20 points up over his Republican challenger.
I know, but
as of the last
do they go in to keep trying to help him, or do they decide to put their money?
You know, at the end of the day, this is such a positive. You know, the Foley situation. If I can just sort of recap, the Foley situation added to what was already a terrible year for Republicans. He may have lost that seat already. Republicans were clearly already going to lose the majority in the House before or after, or whether or not Mark Foley's situation
I think it was a
occurred.
catalyst.
Mahoney situation, I think, works against the prevailing wave, which already exists in favor of his party. So he actually might be, in some ways, buoyed by the national wave, and I think probably at the end of the day survives. That's my prediction.
Wow. All right.
On a scale of 1 to 10, which was worse?
Oh, duh.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, which was worse doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. But look, that's clear. The Foley thing worse on 100 levels. You said that. All right. But it's still, we still have much to go. So we are waiting for the next shoe.
Trust us, we will be following this story
very closely.
Very, very closely. Hold us accountable. That's what I say.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for Hotline TV today. I'm Amy Walter.
And I'm John Mercurio. We'll see you next time on Hotline TV.
I'm going to try to throw this now. Almost.